Okay. But yeah, no, it didn't do shit. It did absolutely nothing. It was absolutely the worst product I've ever used. I've had so much dandruff in the past 2 months than I could possibly ever account for. I've had to realize that, you know, a wash and go was probably not the best idea. Braid outs were definitely not the best idea. Having braids in my hair hurt. It hurt my hair to know how dry it hit, to know how dry it was. Physically feeling how dry my scalp was, feeling how physically dry the rest of my body was, and I don't know, you feel kind of disgusting. You feel disgusting when your hair doesn't feel right. Like if you're somebody who knows the overall health of your hair and how healthy it can be, and then you're in a state where it's not, you kind of feel, the rest of your body kind of feels disgusting. Like, oh my god, like I feel like my scalp just needs to be rubbed and scratched and like it just feels disgusting. So no. This, no go. No. Moving on. What is your go-to hairstyle? Honestly, my go-to hairstyle is a twist. Wash and go. I really don't do many twist outs, many braid outs. When my hair was shorter, I used to do a lot of twist outs. It was kind of really, really easy, and I used to do flat twist outs. It didn't really take long, and twists are very easy to learn, and then once you pretty much master twists on how you like them to come out, you can pretty much learn flat twists in like 2 seconds. And then once you do that, you can move on to cornrows and braids and all that stuff. That's the route I took. But honestly, I would say right now with the hair length that I have, I would probably say a wash and go is easiest, and it's probably my go-to hairstyle. Are you a product junkie? I used to be a product junkie around I want to say October and November of last year, of 2014. But as the months went on, actually as December came, when it started to get cold over here in New York, I realized that I couldn't really use as many products as I was using before because my hair wasn't retaining the moisture. And it wasn't necessarily the type of hairstyle I was using, because even my wash and goes in the winter, depending on what product I used, was still fine. It's not always recommended to do wash and go in the winter, but it's something that I never really had a problem with until I used certain products. So I realized that I had to kind of just bring down my arsenal to around 5 to 6 main products that I use in my hair on a regular, or, you know, this is all I will use. And the only reason I was able to pretty much narrow down which products I use is because it took me a while, but I figured out what works in my hair best and allows me to achieve the results that I want easiest. So after that, I was able to realize what kind of products I wanted to keep. But before then, I was definitely a product junkie. I would buy everything and anything that I could, trying to figure out what in the world worked in my hair, how I could achieve what hairstyle without it being too oily, too dry, you know, without leaving flakes and all that nonsense. So, you know, it took a little while, but it happened. But I'm no longer a product junkie. How often do you trim your ends? I honestly don't trim my ends that often. I just trimmed my ends in, what are we in, May? I just trimmed my ends in April. I think April. Yeah, I trimmed my ends in April. I didn't trim everywhere. What had happened was I realized that my hair had been very damaged, and I think that was from me switching over to a different product. When I was getting rid of the coconut oil, it was keeping my scalp very dry, and in doing so, I was able to keep my roots moisturized, but because my scalp, I don't know what happened. I think it was because my scalp was so dry that the rest of the oils from my scalp couldn't really travel down the hair shaft, and it left my ends very, very dry. And I would do a wash and go, and I would see that just the ends were frizzy, and certain sections where it wasn't that bad, I could see the whole hair was coiling up. But then when I would look at another section, it would just be the ends that would frizz up, and even if I was doing a twist or if I was doing a braid, it would just be absolutely horrible at the end. So I was like, okay, it's time to trim my hair. But honestly, I think the only time I trim my hair will probably be as needed. I don't trim my hair in between 4 months. That never happens. And I don't trim my hair after 4 months unless it's needed. Unless I see that my ends are absolutely horrible, I will not trim my ends. And the only reason I say that is because if you're keeping up with the overall health of your hair, you'll pretty much see it as you go along. And if you are able to keep your hair moisturized, you're able to seal in the moisture, you're able to, you know, attend to your hair and your scalp when they're necessary, when they need the moisture and when it's necessary, then you really don't need to overdo the trimming. Trimming is necessary because you want to make sure you get rid of the dead in order to make room for the new. That is very important. But if you do excessive trimming, it kind of doesn't really help the overall health of your hair, only because at that point you're pretty much just getting rid of everything that's new and you're not giving it time to grow. You have to give your hair time. You have to be patient. That's probably the most important thing. You have to be patient. So I don't trim that much. I think in between 4 months I never trim. After 4 months I can trim only if needed. How often do you use heat? I actually suffered from heat damage from 2011 to April or March of 2013. I suffered from heat damage. So I do not use heat. I do not. Unless I'm doing a deep condition, I need to use the blow dryer until I get a steamer. I need to use the blow dryer in order to induce a little bit more heat because I don't like to use the towel method. That's probably the only time I'll use heat, and it's not really direct heat on the hair. Sometimes it's like around the plastic cap. So it kind of just depends on with that. But other than that, I do not use heat. Do you take supplements? At the moment, I just take Biotin. That is the only thing I take. But I take Biotin more so for my nails because I used to have a really bad problem with my nails. So that was really the reason I took that. But if it benefits my hair, then I'll try and document it. But I've been taking Biotin for so long, so it doesn't really matter. I mean, I can't really say if it's I can't really show a before and after the Biotin because I've been taking it for a long time now. So, and I think I still have like a 4-month supply or something like that. So it's gonna be a little while until I stop taking it. So, but that's the only thing I take. My favorite oil. My favorite oil is actually tea tree oil. Everyone's actually really likes almond oil and shea oil and coconut oil. Coconut oil, I told you already, I have that problem. It just induces too much dandruff and I can't use it. Shea oil is good. I just find it to be a little too light. And almond oil is really good, but it's just not one of my favorites. It doesn't really do too much for my hair. And Jamaican black castor oil, I do use that in conjunction with tea tree oil and a little bit of almond oil. The tea tree oil is my base. I love the way it smells. It does a great job with sealing. It's very lightweight. It is it is very easy to easily disperse in my hair, and I never really had a problem with tea tree oil. And I can buy the bigger bottle. Actually, let me show you the bottle. This is the bottle I get usually. I got it from my beauty supply store for about $8. So like it is a 8 fluid ounce bottle. So this is the bottle I normally get. And I never really have a problem with tea tree oil. The Jamaican black castor oil, I put that in my applicator bottle mixed with the tea tree oil and a little bit of the almond oil, but I never really use that much of the Jamaican black castor oil. It's so thick that once you shake it up and mix it in with the tea tree oil and the almond oil, it kind of just disperses evenly, and then you can apply it and you know it's going to be in there in the hair and on the scalp or wherever I'm going to put it. So pretty much tea tree oil is probably my favorite oil. Who's your hair crush? Honestly, I don't think I have a hair crush. I think I don't really have a hair crush. It really doesn't. I really just love all natural hair. I love hair in general. I really admire people who have hair and hairstyles that they feel so confident in, whether it's short or long. I had very short hair at one point, and now I have. It's not really long hair, but for me it's longer. So I can pretty much appreciate everyone's hair. I really don't have a hair crush. How long does it take you on wash day? I just made a video for that. Honestly, it can probably take me from anywhere from, not really counting the conditioner and leaving that in. Well, actually no, I'll count that. I'll probably say about anywhere from an hour to an hour and 30 minutes. The actual wash process with using either a co-wash or shampoo can take anywhere from 10 to 15 minutes. And then I will rinse that out and try to let as much water come out, run down my hair as possible. And then I will do the conditioner, and then I will let that sit in. And that can take anywhere from 30 to 45 minutes. So it just depends on how long I feel like leaving it in that day. And then after that, it's just the rinse out, and then however I want to style my hair. So anywhere from an hour to an hour and 30 minutes. It's not really that long. Worst thing that ever happened to your hair. The worst thing that ever happened to my hair would probably be the heat damage. I cured from 2011 to 2013. I had a thing about having, I had a very, 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 very long mohawk at one point. I'll probably do a my hair journey picture video at some point. Probably like maybe like next week or the week after that. And it was really, really bad. I would literally flat iron my hair every day. Now, when I say every day, I mean every day. Some people say, oh, you know, I flat iron my hair every day, and that was every other day for them. No, I would wake up, and in order to leave the house or leave my dorm room, I had to flat iron my hair. And I was doing it in a way that I thought was quick and easy, but I never applied a heat protectant. I never blew dry my hair after I washed it, so it was never like straight out of a blow dry into a flat iron. No, I just washed my hair straight into a flat iron. I basically singed off every cuticle possible. My hair was completely damaged. Like, from end to root was destroyed. It was horrible. And that was self-inflicted, so I mean, I understand why it happened. And not to say that I'm afraid of heat now, but it's more so I just want to be weary of heat. And I want my hair to be a little bit longer before I ever try to use heat again. I think before I ever used heat again, I think I want it to be at least shoulder. I want the middle of the mohawk to at least be shoulder length. And when that happens, then I'll think about it. But until then, I probably won't ever use heat until then. But that was probably the worst thing that ever happened. My hair went from probably about this long to about, it probably went from like this long to about here, all from breaking off and damage. It was so bad. Do you dye your hair? If so, what color? I used to dye my hair. I dyed my hair in 2012 or 2011, and I dyed it and then I made it red. First it was reddish orange, and then I made it red, just fire red. And then I let that grow out, and actually that was during the heat damage phase, and it kind of fell out. And then 2013, when I came out of school, around August of 2013, I dyed my hair again, and I was going to originally dye blue or red again, and I had bleached it, but I bleached only the tips, like in a very strategic way with my friend, and I honestly just loved the length of my hair and how it came out. So I just left it. So I pretty much just bleached my hair, and that was it. And it was just bleach blonde all on the top, and I loved it. I honestly loved it. It was crappy as hell to try and take care of, but it was amazing. I really did like it. That was it. I probably would never dye my hair again. I know how hard it is to try and deal with hair that is dyed and try to make it come out the same way that your natural hair would come out in a twist out or braid out, or even on a regular wash and go or anything like that. So I'd probably never dye my hair again. And if I ever do, it would probably be in a small spot. It would probably be like streaks or like maybe like highlights or something, but it would never be like all the tips of my hair or like a complete section of my hair. I would probably never do that again. And the last question on the tag is, who do you tag? So I'll probably list all the questions in the description box, and I tag pretty much anyone else who has a YouTube channel. I may probably try to tag one person in particular. I will see if I can get her YouTube name as soon as possible, and I'll put it down in the description as well. But other than that, this is Kinkinnus 22, and peace out. You won't get nothing if I get no checks, so you better impress me.